Hello, Rob.
How's it, everyone? How are you?
Hi, Rob.
I'm okay. How are you, Marky? Hello, Liv.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
Hello, Rabbi.
Hello, Janet.
Shalom,
How's it?
Rav.
How are
Shalom,
you?
Rav.
Thank you.
Good. Guys, if the electricity come out, especially Dr. Liv,
Nothing we can do. Nothing we
They
can do.
might gonna have rescheduling a load shedding. Please God, it's not gonna happen, because sometimes it doesn't happen. It's supposed to go off at 8. So if it's go off, please do understand it's because load shedding, and I'm gonna reschedule it to another day. Hello, Gabriel, how are you? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna speak today about a custom. How come that we are eating apple dipped in honey? And that's gonna be the subject of the show. Why dafka apple dipped in honey? There's many other fruit that we can eat, many other kind of sweet things that we can eat. Why dafka honey and apple? That's gonna be the subject of the show to prepare us for Rosh Hashanah, Be'ezrat Hashem. So when we sit around the table and we're eating apple, why? We have to understand why. So I'm going to explain it on a pshat, and please God, later on, I'm going to try to explain it from, from a different aspect to try to explain why dafka apple dipped in honey. I see that not many people, oh, Adam join us. Hello, Adam. Thank you for joining us. Not many people joining. I think that many people thinking that we're going to have a power load shedding. So let's hope that not. Let's wait another few seconds just to give some people a chance to join us, because I don't know how many of them have, because it's different parts sometimes cut off here in South Africa. Otherwise, how are you, Dr. Lev?
Oh, so good. Baruch Hashem. Shavua Tov. Been very amazing. It's, I think, the hottest on Friday that it's been for maybe a century. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Why dafka?
It was like, it's not the right time of the year. You know, in September, it's never this heat. Yeah, it's amazing.
And the heat, how's the heat in Israel?
Very, very hot, yeah. But you know, people manage, you just manage. And you, yeah, it's quite incredible, because this is the time where it's getting cooler, it's not getting hotter, and the opposite is happening. Yeah. And in Joburg, it's not as cold as it was.
Joburg was fairly warm today. I think it was very, very nice. During the day, we reached, I think, to 23 degrees. So it's getting warmer in Joburg. It's fairly warm. Okay, I think that we should start the show. No matter what, I'm gonna unmute everyone, and those that gonna join us after that, they're gonna join whenever they're ready, because the time is 8, we have to start. We have to skip to schedule. Okay, so בעזרת השם נעשה ונצליח, והשם עלינו ברחמיו ירביע. So what I would like to speak today, בעזרת השם, and try to explain is the custom of eating apple dipped in honey. What is the main reason behind it, and why we chose? Why did Hazal tell us dafka apple, and why dafka honey? Why not any other fruit? But first, I would like to go to the source. Where's the source? Because we know that in Rosh Hashanah, we eating certain fruit and certain vegetable, that's a symbol. Where's the source for it to come from? So I'm going to start by Ezrat Hashem with the source. But before that, I would like to dedicate the shi'ur le'ilui nishmat Esther Kaden bat Ketzia, לעילוי נשמת מרדכי בן רחמה, ולעילוי נשמת כל חיילי צה"ל שנהרגו, not only חיילי צה"ל, all of those that been killed and been murdered by our enemy. And also to dedicate the shi'ur לרפואת לירון בן שרית, our friend Liron, that doing everything behind the scene, and to dedicate the shi'ur also לרפואת אסתר קדן בת מנשה נג'י בן פרחה, ליאורה בת מרים, please God for their health. בעזרת השם.
And Rob,
Yes.
Mordechai Moshe ben Freida.
לרפואת מרדכי משה
Moshe ben Freida.
פרידה.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure. Okay, so Hazal tell us in two different Gemarot the source for those symbols that we eat in Rosh Hashanah. The first Gemara that speak about it, it's the Gemara in Masechet Horayot in page 12, folio 1. And the Gemara in Masechet Kritut in page 6, folio 1. There Hazal explained that there is certain vegetables and fruit that on Rosh Hashanah, it's good to say the brocha on them in Erev Rosh Hashanah. But there, the Mefarshim there ask, is it obligated to eat, or is it enough to look at the vegetables or to look at the fruit? Okay, there is certain thing of them that you don't have to eat, Hazal say. Okay, it's enough just to look at it. Other of the poskim say, no, you should taste it, even a little bit, just to taste it. Okay, that's what Hazal say there. And there they bring the silka, okay, and the rubia, and all different vegetable and fruit, obviously the dates that we have to eat, and etc. Maran Shulchan Aruch, Rabbi Yosef Karo, in Siman Taf Kuf Pei Gimel, that means 583, he said like this, Yehe Adam Ragil Le'echol Berosh Hashanah. That means, the Maran Shulchan Aruch explained that a person should, it's good for him to eat. The Maran Shulchan Aruch explained, no, it's not enough only to look, it's good to adopt the mera also to taste from this fruit. That's the Shulchan Aruch. That's how the Shulchan Aruch solve up the problem of Hazal in a Gemara. Come, now starting the main question, come the Rama. That's the Rama was Rabbi Moshe Isserlich. Rabbi Moshe Isserlich, born in the city of Krakow. Okay, he born 591 years ago in the city of Krakow. And he said like this, listen what he said. And here come the source, Rabotai, here come the source to apple dipped in honey. And he said that it's a custom, שצריך לאכול תפוח מרוכך בדבש. That means that we should eat apple dipped in honey. That's where's the sauce. If people ask you, where's the sauce? It's an apple dipped in honey. And the question becomes, why dafka apple and honey? Why did the Rama say dafka apple dipped in honey? Why not any other fruit? Why is so important apple dipped in honey? By the way, the Sfaradim, let me just give you a bit of a knowledge. We dip our apple also with sugar, mainly with sugar and then a little bit with honey, but mainly sugar. Okay, so the question is, why dafka apple and honey? So I'll start with the apple. So Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen Miluvlin. Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen Miluvlin, born in the city of Lublin in Poland. He born 197 years ago. And he explained, number one, why dafka apple? And he said like this, if you take the tree, the fruit, the apple fruit tree, if you look at it, you'll see always that the fruit of the apple grow before the leaves. That means, what's come first? The apple. Although it's not ready yet to eat, it's still unripe, but it's come before the leaf. Not only that, listen what he said. He said that if you look, the apple tree have more fruit than leaves. He said, what's the connection? Because of that, you decide to eat apple on Rosh Hashanah? No. He said like this. He said, look and compare it to Bnei Israel. Bnei Israel, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu came to the world, the Midrash said, and he offered them the Holy Torah. What did they ask him? What it's written in the Torah. And then each nation say whatever they want. They didn't want the Torah. Okay, that's not the subject now. When he came to Bnei Israel, what did Bnei Israel say? Bnei Israel say, Na'aseh v'nishma. First, we'll do, then we'll hear. say Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen Miluvlin like this. He say, if you look, the Jewish people is exactly like the apple. Before the leaf come, the apple come. That means that the Jewish people say first we'll do, and then we'll ask question. No. And the same is with the apple. First the fruit come, and then the leaf grow. He said that's the main reason that we eat apple on Rosh Hashanah. Okay, so that's apple, I understand. Wow, come that you told me honey. What, honey is the only thing that's sweet? There is much sweeter thing than that, honey. Syrup, it's much sweeter. Sugar, like the Sfaradim do. So why dafka? Why dafka did we choose honey? So the Gemara, to understand that, I'm going to go to the Gemara in Masechet Bechorot in page 5, folio 2. First of all, to explain, okay, the idea about what is it, honey, and how has it been made, and where is it come from. So Hazal tell us in the Gemara in Masechet Bechorot in page 5, folio 2, an important principle. Hayotze min hatameh tameh. Whatever came out of something that is impure, it's impure. That means it's not kosher. For example, if you take a milk from a camel, that milk is not kosher. You're not allowed to drink it. That Hazal, remember, Gemara Masechet Bechorot, page 5, folio 2. Immediately you're all going to jump and say, wait, hold on 1 second. Rachabiki, the bee that make the honey, it's also not kosher to eat. Why? Because it's kind of a fly, it's an insect. So how come that the honey that she make, we're allowed to eat? So have the Rambam, the great Rambam, the Rambam, B'ilchot Ma'achalot Asurot. The Rambam, it's Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon. He born in the city of Cordova in Spain 885 years ago. So in Ilchot Ma'achalot Asurot, in chapter 3, Halacha Aleph, he explained that although that the bee is not a kosher, it's not a kosher, we're not allowed to eat it. And she make the honey, and he call her a sug of zvuv, kind of a fly, okay? A zvuv is a fly, and he explained like this: that how come that the honey that she make, it's kosher, we can eat? Listen what he said. He said that the bee fly from flower to flower, and she take the powder, the pollen, what we call it, and she put it in a sack in her neck, not in her stomach. It's very important to understand. That means that that pollen that she take, that she observing, she doesn't digest it. She put it on the side by, there is a small sac, very, very small sac, on the side of her throat, and that's where she take that pollen. That's not her food. And inside that sac, what's happened? It start boiling until it's become a honey, okay? And then she go to the hive and she put the honey there. For general knowledge, I don't know how many of you know how much a bee make, how much honey a bee make in her life. Anyone have any idea? So I'll help you. A bee in an entire life that she lived, she might gonna make a teaspoon of honey. That's all. She can't make more than that. And that's the maximum that she can make. So come the Rambam and explain, you know how is it kosher? Because that pollen that she put into her body, she doesn't penetrate into her stomach. That means she doesn't digest it. All she do, she just store it on a certain side of her neck. By her neck, there's a small sac. And that sac that she put the pollen, it gets boiled, but it doesn't penetrate into the body. And if it didn't penetrate into the body, it doesn't become tameh. And also it doesn't get mixed. So what she do, she just leave it there, basically to boil, to cook. And then she take that honey that there is inside that sack and she put it on a hive. And that's the main reason how it's become pure. That means that it's become kosher, that we can eat it. Okay, so we see why honey. Come Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen Minuvlin, and he explained, you know what the honey symbol? The honey symbol something sweet, as we all know, because it's sweet. It's come to symbol the Holy Torah, our Holy Torah. The same like our Holy Torah is sweet. It's perfection, the human being deeds. He can show, the Torah is a manual to show a person what is a sweet life, which direction to go, how to behave, how to act, which mitzvot to do that can help you to keep yourself on the right track, which mitzvot, okay, not to do, because we have negative command. There's certain mitzvot lo ta'aseh, negative command, not to do. That meaning come to tell us that the main idea behind it, that the Torah is symbol what? Sweet, that's the honey. And the apple symbol Bnei Israel. Remember, Bnei Israel, the Jewish people, שהקדימו לומר נעשה ונשמע. That means that they say first we'll do, okay, and then we'll hear what there is in the Torah. First of all, we'll do. Let us accept the Torah. Later on, we'll see what there is in the Torah. He said, that's the connection. That's on a pshat of the dvarim. Okay, I would like to look at all of that from a different aspect, on a deeper meaning, if you don't mind. So to understand that, Hazal explained in a Gemara in Masechet Kiritut, page 6, folio 2, Kol ta'anit she'en ba miposh'ei Israel ena ta'anit. What does it mean? Hazal come and tell us, if you're doing a ta'anit, ta'anit is a fast, and there is no people that sin, that done sinning, I don't consider it as a ta'anit. HaKadosh Baruch Hu want people that sin to come and join that ta'anit. Ta'anit is a fast, and then that will consider as a ta'anit. What is the connection? We explain that the honey been made by a bee, and the bee is not a kosher animal. We can't eat it. It's a fly. We know that fly is one of the things that Hazal tell us, מהדברים המעופפים שאסור לאכול. That means those things that fly, we're not allowed to eat from them. Why? Because it's impure. The Mefarshim explain like this. He said that the symbol of the honey, the idea behind the honey, it's come to symbol to us that the Jewish people, okay, and the honey. What does it mean, the Jewish people and the honey? The Jewish people are pure people, holy people. The honey is exactly the same like the Jewish people, pure and sweet. It's come to tell you, although that the bee is not a kosher animal. And we explain and we brought the Rambam in Ilchot Ma'achalot Asurot, what it means Ilchot Ma'achalot Asurot, what are we allowed to eat, what are we not allowed to eat. He explained that the honey is kosher and we can eat it, although that it came out of a non-kosher animal, because it didn't penetrate to his stomach. She didn't digest the pollen. She didn't digest the honey himself. It's sitting on a side sack, on a separate way, in a separate place. He come to tell you the Jewish people is exactly like the honey, pure and sweet. The bee come to symbol that sometimes the Jewish people, lo alenu, do averot, that we do, lo alenu sin. But we have to understand that those sin is not the personality of a Jewish people. How does it go? And the Mefarshim explain like this. Mefarshim explain the Jewish people, it's a holy nation. It's a holy nation that they expose to the rest of the world. And sometimes they've been influenced by other people, by all the exterior life that we have. And sometimes we don't even know that we're making averot, but we still do averot. Hazal come to tell us, look at the honey. The honey come to tell you that your source, that means your soul, it's a pure soul. Where does it come? From heaven. You are a holy nation, but sometimes it happens that you make mistake. And if you make mistake, you have to remember that it's not your personality. That means the personality of the Jew is a pure and holy neshama, a soul that came up from heaven. He come to tell you that the minhag, now I'm going to the final cherry on the top, that the minhag to eat apple dipped in honey dafka in Rosh Hashanah, it's come to remind each one of us that Rosh Hashanah is a day that each one of us reborn. You're going to say, what do you mean reborn? We know that in Rosh Hashanah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu judged the entire world. Who's going to live? Who's going to die? Who's going to be rich? Who's going to be poor? Has v'shalom. Which plague's going to come to the world? Everything being signed in Rosh Hashanah. He come to tell you that when you eat apple dipped in honey, it's come to remind us that you're reborn. What does it mean? If during the year you've been influenced, you learn from what there is around you, you done sin that you don't even know or you don't even realize that you've done them. And it happened. For example, Lashon Hara, oops, how did I say it? Oops, I said Lashon Hara, I spoke. By mistake, even you regret it, but it just came out. It's come to tell you, adore all of those. You have to remember that in Rosh Hashanah, you get reborn. What it means reborn? Take the bee that it's not kosher, that's the averot. Take what she make, and that's the honey, to remind you that in Rosh Hashanah that you're eating apple dipped in honey, to remind you that in Rosh Hashanah, you know why you're eating it? That you'll do tshuva. That means if you do tshuva in Rosh Hashanah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but when I mean tshuva from the bottom of your heart, not to say, okay, now I'm doing tshuva, after Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, I'll go back. No, that doesn't concern. Tshuva mikol halev, that means tshuva from the bottom of your heart. That means that you regret what you've done. It's come to tell you, that's what the apple dipped in honey come to tell you. And that's what Hazal tell us in a Gemara in Masechet Kritut, page 6, folio 2. כל תענית שאין בה מפושעי ישראל אינה תענית. That means פושעי ישראל, it's the averot. That's the bee. But without that, we can't have ta'anit. That means that our personality, it's a holy personality. It's a pure personality. Our personality, it's a holy soul, pure soul. It's come to tell you when you eat the apple dipped in honey, it's come to remind each one of us in Rosh Hashanah that we get reborn. What it means reborn? That we must regret the averot that we've done, and we must say to ourselves, yes, I've done averot. I regret them. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please forgive me for what I've done. But I have to remember that I'm getting reborn. That means that now I become the honey. I'm not anymore the bee. The bee is not my personality. That's the extra averot that I've been influenced. I learn from other people. I learn from what's happening in the world. I adopt certain minhagim, certain custom that people do without even knowing what. That's what it's come to tell you, the apple dipped in honey. That if all year around you've done averot, you still have a chance. You still have a chance because in Rosh Hashanah, each one of us get reborn. Now, if you look carefully, it's the only festival, Rosh Hashanah, that we have 2 days. I'm not talking in the diaspora. I'm talking even in Eretz Israel. Rosh Hashanah, it's the only festival that we celebrate 2 days, even in Eretz Israel. Why is it? Because if on the first day, Hazal said tzadikim gmurim. What it means tzadikim gmurim? 100% pure tzadikim, that means pious, righteous people get judged. But on a second day, Benonim. What it mean, Benonim? People that between, not sure. What it mean, not sure? People that done Averot, people that during the year sin, if they know, if they doesn't know, if they done it mezid or beshogeg, that mean on purpose or by mistake, it's come to tell you that you still have a chance. That mean on Rosh Hashanah, each one of us get reborn. And that's what the apple, Dept and honey come to tell us. Remember, although that you done Averot, you're apple, you the Jewish people. You say first, Na'aseh v'nishma. First we'll do, and then we'll listen. The honey come to tell us, although that you done Averot, and the honey came out of the bee that unpure, it's not the end. You still have a chance. Correct your deeds, work on yourself, ask for forgiveness, daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Be'ezrat Hashem, will seal the entire Am Yisrael Lechaim tovim u'leshalom. That means that, please God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will seal all the Jewish people, wherever we are. If we are in Eretz Israel, if we are here in the diaspora, wherever we are, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu seal all the Jewish people for a good life, prosperity life, for health, prosperity, and wealth, and please God, a lot of briut, and will merit to see Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon. Now I'm going to give time for question. If anyone want to ask question, please. Anyone want to ask question? Adam, you want to ask question?
I wanted to just say amen.
Amen. Okay, I agree with you. Everyone will say amen.
I also found out something interesting about bees. I don't know how it works, but once I saw a bee on my windowsill and it was like dying. It wasn't healthy. And I didn't know what to give it. I thought water, but I thought no. And I actually put some honey there. I put some honey, then I walked away. I came back the next day and the bee was gone. So my friend said to me, the only time a bee will eat honey is when it's ill, when it's injured. It's the only time it eats its own honey. It eats honey and it fixes the bee.
Wow, I didn't know that. Shirkoach, well done. Thank you for letting me know. You see, here's another thing. So you can connect it. Look, it's connecting. Even if she's sick, that she made the averot, how do you can refix it? By eating the pure stuff. You understand? By doing the right deeds. Shirkoach, well done. It just came to me now. Just then connect one and one. Shirkoach.
And also the averot that we do, they don't become part of us. It's just passing through us.
That's exactly not part of our personality, our life personality. Yeah. A Jewish person, though that he do averot, if you speak to his heart, if you know how to penetrate to his heart, okay, you can soften it. And that's what many people say about the Israelis, the Jewish people. They're like sabres. What it means, sabres? If you take the fruit sabres, okay, prickly pear, you call it in English. Okay, and outside, it's very rough, very pricky, you know. But open it, penetrate to the inside. Soft, sweet, tasty, full of juice. That's the Jewish people. We just have to know how to penetrate. Unfortunately, this world that we live in, and for so many years we're living in a diaspora, we got influenced by many nations. The Egyptian, all about physicality. Then came the Greek that was all about the body, the body, the body, the body. We got influence, unfortunately. Today is all about money and strength, how much money I have, what car I'm driving, what phone I'm having, and etc. Unfortunately, the Yetzer Hara, this is the world that we're living, and that's what we get influenced by. And we see that, and we get influence, and some people can't have the resist to stand against that, against this Yetzer Hara. And that's what the apple dip bin honey come to tell us. Although that if you make the averot, remember, this is not your personality. You follow them?
Yeah, beautiful.
Any other question, Rabota? Anyone want to add up something or to ask something?
Can I say a statement, right? Can I say something? You know, I was in the post office here in Beit Vegan last week, and there was a woman. She's got tattoos on her arm, and a Haredi guy came in. He comes in. like every week with a little parcel of like 1 agurot and 10 agurots. And she said to everybody, let him come. And she spent about 5 minutes changing his money at the post office. And she said, let him just do it. And this was a non-from woman who had such like compassion for this Haredi guy. And that, like what you said with the Sabra, on the outside, they might have like little tattoos there or, you know, like spiky hair, but she has a good heart. And she and everybody just couldn't believe it, that a Haredi guy came to her and she helped him. And
You see?
everybody just like was amazed, but that's what a Sabra really is.
That's
That
a
she
Jewish
had
heart.
yeah.
Exactly. People have done the tattoo. Why? Ask yourself, why people do tattoo? Because it's in fashion. Simple.
Yeah, the fashion.
That's the fashion today. But if they would know why tattoo we're not allowed to do, because I done a show about tattoo. What is tattoo? Be'ezrat Hashem will do again. I'll repeat that show. Why not to do tattoo? Why are we not allowed to do tattoo? There's some tattoo that look beautiful. If you look at tattoo, there is some professional work that do beautiful work.
But you're
So
desecrating the body.
You want to know? I'll tell you, because the Rambam say that we, as a Jewish people, what do we have? How do we holy ourselves? By having the Shabbat, tefillin. You understand? So the Gentile wanted to holy their God. So what did they done? They tattooed their God on the body.
Wow.
You understand? So it's avodah zarah. But I'll do a shiur about it in depth, because I've been asked different question, and I saw some different question. I have a question for a person that I'll ask you that and think about it. A person wrote the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yud Kei Vav Kei, on himself. He tattooed himself. Are you allowed to raise it or not? Because that's the holy name. And if that holy name, you're not allowed to erase the holy name. And I'll tell you a different question. I spoke to a guy, Israeli guy, that he sell the equipment and the ink. That's his job. He sell it here in South Africa. He sell it to people. I'll ask him if there is a way that you can eliminate that without operation. He said to me that there is a special ink, the same color of the body, that you can eliminate it. And I said to him, wait, let me think about it. That was in Purim. I remember we were sitting in a Sauda. Wow. And I wrote the shiur, and I spoke to him because I wanted to know how's the ink work. He said to me that the minimum, needle, come with 11 heads, small 11 heads. That's 11 injectors. That's the minimum. That's how they inject. And it injects 3 millimeter depths, minimum. So I've gone into it and I have a shala, and I wrote actually an answer about it. Are you allowed to do it or not? So Be'ezrat Hashem, when I'll do the show, I will explain that.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
So what I'm trying to do, let's go back. Am Israel is Am Kasher, a kosher nation, a holy nation. That she wear the tattoo, the tinok shenishba. It's a baby that doesn't know any better. They've been influenced. That's how they call it in Hebrew. Tinok shenishba. That means it's been surrendered. It's been captured. It's been kidnapped. Why? Because so many years in the diaspora, 2,500 years ago, since Bet HaMikdash gone, and we in diaspora, we get influenced by the exterior around us. Yes, she doesn't see it as a bad thing, but the soul is still pure. You just have to know how to penetrate.
Wow.
And that heart you can't take from a Jew. Shkoach, Les.
Shkoach.
Guys, any other question? No. So, Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll meet again on Thursday, this coming Thursday. We'll do shiur on Parashat HaShavua with our friend Mark, our general reader. You know, he's the laner for us. Mark, you the laner, huh? You didn't believe ever you're going to be Elena. Here, you're Elena.
Yeah, right.
What do you mean you're right? Here, you are our Elena in English. Anyone want
Thanks,
to ask
Rob.
question,
Thank
please,
you.
guys. If you have question, ask. Don't be shy. If not, I would like to take the opportunity to wish all of you again a safe week, a beautiful week. Look after yourself, keep safe, and look after yourself. Wear the mask. Make sure that you wash your hand. I'm not a doctor. There's Dr. Gabriel there, but let's try to keep ourselves as safe as we can. And Be'ezrat Hashem, please God, we should all merit to see Mashiach speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon. Have a good night.
Amen. Rob, thank you.
Yeah, amen.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rolf. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.